Hello everybody and welcome to the N64 Japanese Eye. This is a series where we take a look at the Japanese exclusive N64 titles and try to answer one simple question. Can you play them and enjoy them without knowing any Japanese at all? In this episode we're going to be playing one of my personal favourite Japanese exclusives. This is Neon Genesis Evangelion. Now before we take a look at the game, we really need to admire this awesome box art. Honestly, this is one of my all-time favourite N64 covers. The back is a little disappointing as it mostly contains text, and even the images on the back are not the most exciting. Here you can see the instruction manual on the left and the cart to the right. The cart label is really cool with a cross design which plays into one of Neon Genesis Evangelion's themes. For any collectors like me, then you'll want to make sure you get a version which includes the collector's cards which you can see here. And it also comes with this awesome hologram card as well. Now I could talk for hours about the story of Neon Genesis Evangelion, however I strongly suggest that you watch the anime in full as it's one of the best ever made. I will however try to give you a brief story of the game just to put it into some context for those of you that aren't familiar with the series. And I would like to just point out that the game is based around the entire anime series, and what was also a very cool move was that some of the scenes in the game are actually from the feature-length movie. The basic story begins in the year 2000 with the second impact. The human race was led to believe that this was the result of a meteorite hitting Antarctica and wiping out over half of Earth's inhabitants. We learned that the truth was that the event was caused by contact and experimentation on what are collectively dubbed as angels. Unlike the name suggests, angels are the ultimate badasses, and the paramilitary agency NERV has its central mission to locate and destroy all remaining angels. They do this by deploying Evangelions, or commonly referred to as Eva. These are biomechanical mecha which are piloted by 14-year-olds due to them being conceived after the second impact. But let's move into the game as that's what we're all here for. Now before I say anything further, I want to make one thing totally clear. Playing Neon Genesis Evangelion is more of an experience than a game. You see, there are long sequences of beautifully drawn full motion video which come right from the anime. These are combined with some decent looking 3D graphics to really bring you into the story. It's more like playing an animated TV show where you control minor details of the event rather than having total control of the game. One of the great things about the quality of the video in the game is that even without being able to read Japanese, you can get a sense of what is happening, which makes the game really playable. Fans of the anime will know exactly what's going on, but even those who are not aware of the series, you'll pretty quickly realise who's good, who's bad, and why you're being presented with the tasks in the levels. The game title screen offers 3 modes of play. The options screen is self-explanatory, however it's worth noting that unless you play on the higher difficulties, the final battles in the game are not playable. You also unlock extras by completing the higher difficulty game modes. There is also a simulation mode where you pick a pilot for your Eva and practice your aim against simulated angels in the training area. They say this is a training area, however in this mode you take a first person perspective, and this is never used in the game, which is quite surprising as it is a cool mode of play. However, the story mode is where you'll spend most of your time, so let's get into that. At the start of each level, a video will play showing you the context of the level you're about to face, and they're all in sequential order, taking in moments from the anime series and film. There is also a control menu which is presented before each mission, as the controls vary depending on your task for that particular level. Levels 1, 2, 8, 12 and 13 are all mech battles where you'll play as Shinji as you pilot your Eva in a battle against the different angels. One thing to note is that the Eva need the umbilical cord, which is the power cables connected to their backs in order to operate. The moment you are knocked down or grabbed, the cable is broken and a timer will begin, giving you no more than 5 minutes before you run out of power. Whilst we're talking about these mech battles, one of the earliest things you need to do is break down the angel's absolute terror field, which is known as its AT field. This is a field which makes them immune to most conventional attacks, and you need to deploy your own when you're close to them in order to break theirs. With the angel's AT field down, you're then free to bring total destruction to it. Movement is done with the analog stick, and the A button attacks, R button grabs, and a combination of A and B will unleash a higher power move which is taken from the anime. If you've loved some of these battle scenes from the anime, you'll love seeing them reenacted here once again. In some of the levels they are also impossible to complete without triggering certain events which happened in the series. The gameplay on the other levels is a mixed bag of styles, so let's take a look at these now. Mission 3 is probably the easiest in the game, and you simply need to move the analog stick to keep the target angel within the positron cannon sights to destroy it. Even on the harder difficulties, this level isn't all that much different. It was slightly disappointing that more wasn't done here, and it feels more like a filler level than a fully fleshed experience. Now Mission 4 has two parts to it. Firstly, you need to run using button mashing of A and C down to chase and catch up with an out of control mecha before it reaches the maximum safety limit of the city. Anyone who's played games like Track and Field will find this very easy, and you shouldn't have any problems doing this every time. The next part of the level sees you then needing to follow the on-screen commands to disarm a nuclear device. This took me a few attempts, but if you pay close attention and react quickly when you are given a direction on the analog stick to press, things become a lot easier. Mission 5 is the dance like you want to win game. If you're a fan of Dance Dance Revolution or games of that genre, then you'll love this. There's actually two parts to this level. If you select the left option, you'll enter a training mode which you can undertake as many times as you like. If you select the right option, then this is for real, and you need to press the buttons as they are lit up on the screen below. If you miss too many commands or make one too many mistakes, then you'll need to restart the level. There is also a secret hidden final command, and this is not shown on screen, but for those interested, it's the C button up 3 times and it will present you with a different level ending. Mission 6 is one of the more unique levels and probably one of my favourites. Nerve discovers an egg of an angel within an active volcano, and you need to retrieve it. You use the analog stick to move around looking for it, and pay close attention as what you're looking for is a shadow, and when you find it you lock onto it. Do this a few times and the level is completed. Mission 6 is in 4 steps. The first 3 require you to press the A button at the right time on the bar below to jump over obstacles. The final step requires you to button mash A and C down to keep the angel from impact. This level is based around the new angel over the Earth's atmosphere with the capacity to destroy Tokyo 3 and the Geofront on impact. Mission 9 is one of the harder levels in the game. A powerful new angel has invaded the Geofront and has already defeated 2 Avas. You need to defeat this new angel with a series of quick combo button presses as they are presented on screen. This requires very quick reflexes, and don't be surprised if this takes you many attempts as there is very little room for error. Mission 10 is where the Angel of Light appears above the Earth's atmosphere and attacks Asuka's mind. Because it's so far away for any conventional weapon, you are tasked with throwing and guiding the Lance of Longinus directly to kill it. This level took me many attempts, as even if you stray a little off track, the level will end. You need to use the analog stick to guide the spear. My tip would be to concentrate and aim for the middle of the angel rather than paying close attention to the trajectory shown on screen. Level 11 has you up against the last angel, who is the 5th child. He is only moments away from starting the 3rd impact, so you really need to be quick on this level. The first part involves you pressing A and C down quickly, and this time it takes much longer, so if you get tired just pause the game and take a rest. Secondly comes the fight, and it's mostly countering each other's moves and making sure you land enough overhead blows with the stabbing attack. Level 12 is actually a very easy level. You just need to kill time until the clock hits the 3:30 marker. You can smash your troops and hovering VTOLs, and a cool tip is that if you grab one while another is behind you, you will smash them into one another for a pretty cool cutscene. Now if you're playing the game on easy, this is where the game will end. The second part will only become available when you play the game in medium difficulty, but I'll keep that next stage as a secret. Also, the 13th level is only accessible when playing the game in hard mode. You won't be disappointed with these extra levels, and without giving any spoilers, they are worth playing the game in the higher difficulties just to experience. The audio in the game is another one of its strong points. It's quite simply brilliant. The music from the series is all there and sounds glorious. There is nothing like playing as a powerful mecha while classical music blasts around you. The music is also perfectly matched to the levels you're playing on and helps to create a great sense of fun in the dancing stage, for example. Or when you're exploring the active volcano, it really makes you feel you're in a race against time to find the sleeping angel. Completing the game in easy mode unlocks the game's soundtrack, and trust me, you're going to enjoy going into it and hearing the music over and over again. The game is also sadly not that difficult at all. On the easy mode you'll probably be able to complete it on your first playthrough in around 90 minutes or so. Even on the harder difficulties, it doesn't pack much of a challenge. It's a shame because the game may be hard in parts, but it never becomes frustrating, and so when it was over, I was actually a little disappointed. I'm certain there'll be fans of the anime watching that didn't even know this game was around. If you're one of these people, then don't hesitate to pick this up. You'll love seeing scenes reenacted in the game, and for everybody else, you can't help but love the sheer variety of different styles of gameplay within this. Some critics said that this game was a jack of all trades but a master of none, but I actually disagree with this. Neon Genesis Evangelion is a game clearly made with love from the developer Bandai and made to please the fans. The all-important question, as always, is can you play this without knowing Japanese? The simple answer is yes, you can. There are some fantastic English guides online, and you'll definitely need one of these to play unless you know Japanese. Once you have gotten to grips with the controls and understand what you need to do, it becomes a pleasure to play, and that's why it's one of my personal favourite Japanese exclusives. So what do you think of Neon Genesis Evangelion? Are you one of the anime fans who has played this before, and if so, what did you make of it? If you have no idea about what Neon Genesis Evangelion is, then firstly, go check it out, but secondly, let me know how you think the game looks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want more Japanese exclusive N64 games, hit that thumbs up button. And until next time, sayonara.